Hello, welcome back to Toffee Blues, your source for all things Everton. I'm Jay Pendleton and I'm here to talk through the player ratings of Everton's defeat to Fulham yesterday, kicking off the season in a very similar way to what we did last term. Just feels like we've thrown away another 3 points. We did this first game of last season against Chelsea, we threw away at least a point. A game where we had 2 or 3 chances, and we didn't find the net and conceded the crap goal and got beat. Villa, second game of last season, played a really poor team, and they had a striker in Danny Ings who scored, and then they went on to win the game. And then Forest last season, we were all over them for 80 minutes and we could see the crap goal, and then we managed to rescue a point on that one. Leeds and Brentford games last season where we should have won and we didn't. Okay, a bit of controversy in the Leeds game, for example, but yeah, just really frustrating because we've performed and coached a sort of 2 or 3-0 win there yesterday, and we've ended up getting beat 1-0. Really frustrating. It happens obviously in football. Like you can play well and lose a game, you can play poorly and win a game. That happens, but I think 9 times out of 10, you can put a reason down for it. And it was very clear the reason yesterday is that we didn't have a good enough striker. People keep saying we don't have a centre-forward. We do have a centre-forward, it's just crap. That's kind of the, highs and lows of it, is that the striker we do have is not good enough. So, but anyway, we move on and we'll look at the player ratings now. I say if not the team as a whole actually played quite well, but we'll look into that. Jordan Pickford giving him a 6. Had very little to do, made what looked like to me, I was right behind it, a good save from Andreas Pereira. I think the referee gave a goal kick. I don't think he actually thought he got a touch on it, but it looked like he did to me. And he made a pretty easy save from Mitrovic shortly after. The Fulham had very little, so giving him a 6. Nathan Patterson, I thought was really poor yesterday, giving him a 3. He was getting torn to shreds by Willian first half. He then got subbed off and I was quite pleased. And then the fella who came on actually scored, which is super frustrating. But yeah, I thought he was really poor yesterday from Patterson, and I don't know, it's interesting because I think that he came in, he wasn't ready at all, didn't play, then got injured in the team start last season, played I think relatively well, I think it's fair to say, then got injured, came back, didn't look as good, got injured, came back, looked alright, got injured, and then obviously started this season off. I thought he was really poor yesterday. Going forward, he's never offered much, and he offered nothing yesterday. He's crossing it when he shouldn't. He's coming back and playing it around when he should cross it in. I thought he was shocking yesterday. Some of the defending was really below par, and I don't know, it's one of them where you got to kind of maybe start looking at this and say, the time Mikalenko's on the bench, who I also don't think is very good. I've got Ashley Young playing left back. Ashley Young would probably rather play right back. James Coleman's out injured, obviously, at the minute. So, he could be third choice right back if he doesn't sort of pick up this form from today. Obviously, it's only one game. You don't want to make any generalisations on it. But I kind of look at it and I say that he has been here 2 years now. A year and a half, going on 2 years. And we haven't seen much development from him. So, let's just hope this was a poor game and he's better next week, because I assume he will play. But no, I thought he was really poor yesterday, so giving him a 3. Moving on to centre-halves then, I've given Michael Keane a 6, James Tarkowski 6.5. I thought they were both okay, I thought they were both fine. Obviously, I'm really not pleased about seeing Michael Keane playing for Everton in 2023. And we've got a left-footed young centre-half there I think would slot in really nicely. I just hope it's a case of he will ease Branthwaite in and he will start playing games, because Michael Keane in the first half, we were we dominated really in terms of chances. Fulham had decent possession and Keane dealt with it relatively well, fair play, but then he does little things that just unnerves the crowd, unnerves the team. Some of his passing was really poor, but as I say, dealt with 90% of what came his way, which is fair enough. Obviously, it's going to be tougher games coming up, and he didn't have a proper brain fart yesterday like he normally does. Tarkowski, I thought, was the same, dealt with most things that came his way. Some decent passing, some poor passing. I just gave him slightly higher because he engaged Fulham a bit higher up the pitch, won a couple of tackles forward, runs the ball back. I thought he did all right. Obviously, his first official game as vice captain, so but I thought they both did okay. But Yeah, I wouldn't even say it's an agenda against Michael Keane because he's been here years now, and I'm just done with this idea of, okay, he's played well today, or he's played okay today, so that's fine. It's not. You know what I mean? I'm not really too fussed how he gets on from here on out because I don't want him playing in this team anymore. He's been here too long now. He's had too many chances, and for how many good performances he might put in at the start of the season, you just think another poor one's coming in our way. So that's where I stand on him. Anyway, Ashley Young, giving him a 6.5 as well. I thought he was all right, to be fair. Some good bits of defending, good passing. I thought he actually carries up the pitch nicely in the first half. Bit quiet in the second half, didn't do too much. A couple of poor bits of defending as well, but thought he's okay on his official debut. Next up, Alex Iwobi on the right, giving him a 7.5. Thought he was probably our best player, certainly in the first half. Unbelievable sort of Gareth Bale-esque run. Thought it was kind of a classic Alex Iwobi performance because he did play well in spells. He had a couple of poor bits as well. I think he has groin or pulled something slightly in the second half, which I think meant his output wasn't as good as it had been. But now I thought it was a decent performance where we'll be out on the left, not his preferred position, I don't think, or not Dyche's preferred position for him. His corners weren't very good, but other than that, I thought he put in a pretty decent shift. Giving him a 7.5. Obviously, we don't know how long he's going to be playing for us, because I do just think if we get an offer for him, he's probably going to have to move on because, you know, he's only got a year left in his deal and we're probably going to need that money. But no, I thought he did well yesterday, and obviously hopefully we can get someone to play on that left-hand side. He can go back to the right, and as I say, I think that's where he is better for us. Then moving on to centre mid, I'm giving it just a 7. I thought he was decent, to be fair. Won the ball back plenty. Kept us second in midfield. Just a solid performance from Garner Gay. Thought he was one of our better players yesterday, that's for sure. Amadou Onana, I've given him a 7 as well. Really good in the first half. Carried us forward. Had a good shot from Iwobi, crossed. Maybe could have done better with. As it helped to get up the pitch, winning ball back, snapping into tackles like he does. Second half, certainly the latter part of the second half, I thought he was quite quiet. Kind of faded out the game a little bit, which is disappointing. But I did think he kind of bossed that midfield battle. Obviously, Palhinha not playing for Fulham yesterday was a big plus for us, but we didn't take advantage of it in the end. But I thought Onana played all right yesterday. Next time I was like the Corey, giving him a 5.5. Thought he was really average. Missed an absolutely gilt-edged chance in the first half. He should score himself, but if he's not very confident like he seemed he was, and he's got to just square to James Garner and give him a tap in. Really frustrating. And I didn't think he offered anything really, to be honest with you, throughout the game. I think he sort of said he's going to play slightly deeper this season, which I don't know how well that works for me, because I just think he's much better going further forward. And obviously, he kind of went through on goal for us there, and didn't score, unfortunately. So hopefully better for him next time. I forgot to mention as well something like Nathan Patterson. Obviously, he missed an absolute sitter, which is part of the reason why I gave such a low score. It was super frustrating that. I completely forgot about that for a brief second. But yeah, moving on. James Garner, out of position today, gave him a 6.5. Decent shift from him, but playing on the right, I mean, there's just far less he can do. Far less he can influence the game, but some really nice touches, a couple of decent balls in. I say he should have had a goal to his name, should have been squared to him, but unfortunately not. But I thought it was an all-round alright performance from him. I think he'll do better when he goes back into the centre. And then Neil Maupay up front, giving him a 2. Thought he was absolutely useless. People were saying to me, "Oh, you're alright today," and I was like, well, he latched onto a chance in the first half. Good effort, just wide, absolutely no issue with that. Yeah, we were like 40 seconds in, they got us on the front foot, so fair play. After that, he had 2 unbelievable opportunities, missed both of them, and then he did nothing all game. You know, he'd come deep and pass it back off a couple of times, sure. And like, I know people are going to say he doesn't fit our style of play, and when the ball's getting lumped up to him, yeah, absolutely. I'm never going to sit here and say he's got to be winning headers against Tim Ream or Issa Diop, because it's just not going to happen. Actually, he had one good bit of hold of play in the first half, I remember, which was nice. But it's not that. That's not that what I'm basing him on. I'm basing on the fact he went through on goal 3 times and didn't score, particularly the last 2. I mean, And that's why I've lost the game in the end. I mean, ultimately, as I say, Abdoulaye Doucouré missed one really good chance as a midfielder breaking through with an opportunistic moment. But I say Mopé had 3 good chances. He didn't get that many chances last season. Like, I know he was really bad, but he didn't really have that many great chances. Mainly because he didn't craft any himself, but he got put through on goal twice by our team. On another day, Doucouré had a goal and an assist. On another day, Mopé gets a couple of goals. It's a completely different match, but ultimately that's why I've lost the game, because he's nowhere near good enough. Obviously, I've seen some of the stuff on social media, which isn't nice. All players get it, unfortunately. It's part of the course at the minute, which is not good and needs to be clamped down on, obviously, and we all support him in that. But I think it is fair to say he's just not very good. And he shouldn't be starting games for us. I feel a little bit sorry for him in that sense, but look, if he's a £15 million Premier League striker, he gets put on goal twice, gets put through on goal twice. It's not like he picked the ball up and weaved through a couple of challenges and swung one in. It's a great save. He got the ball put on the plate for him twice in the Premier League and he hasn't scored. Very annoying. And then Danjuma and Dobbin, they were on for such little time. There was nothing you can really give for them. Danjuma missed an absolute sitter himself. Given offside, but from what I can see, it wasn't offside. So really annoying. Around with Demarai Gray actually last season against Forest, and he actually scored. Demarai Gray not in the squad because we're waiting to get a replacement for him. That replacement appears to be this morning Jack Harrison, by the way, who's injured for the next few weeks. And it's on a postcard for that one. But yeah, and then Lewis Dobbin came on, didn't get many touches of the ball. Kid was playing League One last season. He's having to come on to try and save, wasn't it? First game of the Premier League season. Really, really frustrating. But yeah, look, this is a game where Everton created 6 or 7 really good chances. You had 3 really good chances from Mopé, Danjuma, Doucouré, Patterson, Iwobi had a good shot saved. Tarkowski had a header go just wide. It's really frustrating, and as I think as a team, as a unit, we actually played quite well. Don't think any one player massively stood out, because I just think it was a good team performance, and we should be sat here talking about a 3 or 4-1 win. I think we're not, so that's kind of got to be reflected in the score, in the results. Obviously, we had a goal disallowed. I forgot to mention Key and Tarkowski combining. I'm not sure where I stand on it, to be honest with you. I felt when I was watching it in real time, I thought that Tarkowski was pushed into Leno, and that's what it looked like to me on the replays. Then Leno does have 2 hands on the ball, but then he's also jumping over a player to try and get to it. Bit of a grey area, I think. So I'm not really too wound up about that per se, but yeah. Really frustrating day, and just hopefully, Villa got absolutely sausage last night, so hopefully when it comes to next week we can put in a better performance, get one of the big lads up front and just cause chaos, and hopefully, rather than sitting here like we were last week and say, wow, we wrote off 6 games start last season, let's hope it's only 1 this time, because results at the start of the season are just as important as results at the end. Those 3 points mean the same no matter when it is in the season, so we'll see anyway. And yeah, thank you all for listening. Let us know your thoughts on the ratings down below, and we'll see you next time. Nice one.